on CBS46 News at 6.
If people can in some way support their local restaurants.
Atlanta's mayor ordering some big changes coming to the city's bars, restaurants, and other establishments. More Georgians die of the coronavirus. I'll tell you what hospitals will and will not reveal.
The president of the Atlanta City Council and a fellow councilwoman possibly exposed to the coronavirus at a conference in Washington.
All of that and more, but first, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases worldwide closes in on 250,000. I'm Brittany Miller, in for Wick Falwell.
And I'm Sean Gables. Those new numbers from the Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Resource Center. It shows more than 236,000 people have the deadly virus. The United States has more than 11,000 confirmed patients. New York State now has more than 4,100 active cases. Washington State is the only other state with more than 1,000 cases. Earlier today, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo compared the pandemic to another life-altering moment.
For me in New York, it reminds me of 9/11, where one moment, which was inconceivable, just changed everything, changed your perspective on the world, changed your perspective on safety.
Here in Georgia, the number of infected people is almost at 300. According to the Department of Public Health, 287 people have the deadly virus. Fulton County has the most confirmed cases with 66, followed by Cobb and Bartow counties. The coronavirus has killed at least 10 Georgians, Less than 10 hours ago or 2 hours ago, Governor Brian Kemp updated us on the state's fight against the pandemic.
As the number of Georgia cases continues to rise in communities across Georgia, hospital bed space continues to remain a serious issue for us all. State agencies are working in tandem to determine the existing capacity and run the numbers on potential needs. This work is ongoing, and we will continue to provide updates as this situation changes.
Earlier today, President Trump signed into law a multi-million-dollar emergency aid package. It includes free coronavirus testing and up to 2 weeks for paid leave for some workers. This comes as more businesses around the country forced to close indefinitely. Employees with relatives who have been infected may qualify for a $200 a day benefit as well. Drive-through coronavirus testing underway in Cobb and Douglas counties. These sites are not open to the public and are only accepting patients who have been pre-screened. Health officials say the best thing to do if you have mild symptoms is to stay home.
The state of Georgia is preparing a place for more coronavirus patients to stay. It's in Monroe County, about an hour outside of Atlanta. Construction ended last week at the quarantine site. 20 housing units sit behind the fences. Governor Kemp called the site one of the many measures the state is taking to prepare for any scenario. As of tonight, there are no patients at the facility, but Monroe County officials are working with the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security to ensure the facility meets the needs of the coronavirus patients, but also protects county residents. So we told you about Georgia's death toll related to the coronavirus at the top of the newscast. That number could grow exponentially in the near future. CBS 46's Brittany Edney live in Midtown tonight with new numbers out of South Georgia. Brittany.
Yeah, that's right. At one Georgia hospital, death total numbers, well, they doubled from one day to the next. It really just shows how quickly information and totals are changing with this coronavirus outbreak and how quickly those numbers can go up in just 12 hours.
Our facility has been receiving an influx of patients with suspected COVID-19 for well over a week at this point.
A fluid and fast-moving situation at Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital. 4 patients have now died from the coronavirus who were treated there.
We had a large number of patients for whom test results were still pending.
More than 400 people are at home waiting for their results. A spike in positive coronavirus tests continues at 43 Thursday afternoon, and that includes the 4 deaths. 19 of those are currently in care at the hospital. 20 positive patients are in self-quarantine at home. Over at Piedmont Hospital, officials there told me they're not releasing numbers to the press directly, but did confirm multiple healthcare workers have been exposed to the virus, saying, quote, "Any employee with symptoms is self-isolating at home. We thank all of our employees for their commitment and care." Emory, Grady, Gwinnett Medical Center, and all WellStar locations, well, none of them returned my phone calls today. Reporting live in Midtown, Brittany Edney, CBS 46 News.
Brittany, thank you. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines grounding more flights due to the coronavirus pandemic. 600 planes, half of Delta's fleet, now grounded. Wednesday, its CEO, Ed Bastian, said Delta will cut its capacity by 70%. Bastian added that 10,000 Delta employees have agreed to take unpaid leave. The White House is supporting $50 billion in loan help to the airlines, but so far it's not going along with an industry request for cash grants.
The U.S. military says it is pausing the movement of any new troops into Afghanistan and quarantining 1,500 troops who recently arrived in order to protect them from the coronavirus. Troops already in the country may have their deployments extended so missions can continue. But earlier today, an Army general tweeted the military has a new screening process for troops and other personnel arriving in Afghanistan. Well, the impact of the coronavirus continues to be felt at an Atlanta VA regional office. Today, their benefits administration closed its doors to the public. Our Beth Yates has more on this.
Yes, the VA continues to implement safeguards to protect veterans and staff.
They have signs up around the building and they've closed some entrances.
Veteran John Walters says the VA has really stepped up its efforts to safeguard against the coronavirus.
The parking vans were moved from the Eagles Nest nursing home around the corner because the older people at the nursing home are more susceptible to the virus. So they're doing a lot of little things that are almost transparent, but ones that are important.
But the Atlanta VA isn't just implementing little things. Effective Thursday, the Veterans Benefit Administration offices are closed to all in-person services. The email blast sent to veterans states the regional office will remain open, but will no longer accept walk-ins for claim assistance, scheduled appointments, counseling, or other in-person services. Officials say the decision was made to protect older veterans and staff, and those needing help with benefits can call or fax documents. In addition to the closure of VA benefits, the VA Medical Center is also making adjustments.
Well, the hospital is not closing. It's just certain departments might close because they don't want to have the exposure.
Some of the departments include pulmonary, vision, and pharmacy. But even if your medical specialty is open, the VA is requesting veterans complete their doctor visits via video chat. And if you must go to the hospital, they want you to call first.
The doctors who called and said they prefer telehealth, but the hospital is still open if I must be seen.
We'll continue to monitor the changes the VA implements to protect from the coronavirus. Fighting for our vets, Beth Yates, CBS 46 News.
And please reach out to CBS 46 if you are a veteran who needs our help or know a veteran who does. The email address is fightingforourvets@cbs46.com. The president of the Atlanta City Council and a fellow councilwoman both now self-quarantining at home after attending a conference in which 2 attendees tested positive for the coronavirus.
The CBS 46 Bulldog broke the story earlier today. Chief Investigator Jonathan Carlson is in Atlanta with the details.
Guys, good evening. This understandably has some folks at City Hall concerned. The potential exposure happened at a conference in Washington. Atlanta City Council President Felicia Moore and Councilwoman Joyce Shepard are both in self-isolation after 2 attendees at the National League of Cities Conference tested positive. Attendees were notified on Tuesday. Those sickened, Moore says, were in other workshops. Neither Moore nor Shepard are experiencing symptoms as of now. Now, Moore told me she's self-isolating not only because of this, but because it's simply the right thing for everybody to be doing right now. In Atlanta, I'm Jonathan Carlson, CBS 46 News.
New information tonight on State Senator Brandon Beach of Alpharetta. He is now in self-quarantine after testing positive for the coronavirus. The Lieutenant Governor's office says Senator Beach's symptoms started about 8 days ago. State health officials are also now recommending that all Georgia state senators and their staff self-quarantine for 14 days.
The University System of Georgia working on a plan to pay students who had their academic year cut short by the coronavirus. In a statement posted on its website, the organization said it is quickly working as possible to issue partial refunds to students, especially those required to move out of on-campus housing and those who no longer have access to dining services. Other fees may also be partially refunded.
And happy spring, everybody. This is real life. I've gotten so many really nice messages on Facebook because you saw it all today. I'm getting my roof fixed, of course, today as I'm working from home. So that's what the banging is. I had a big leak. I had water coming down my light every time it rained. So we've got that. You got the dog. And you've got both kids surrounding me as I'm live over and over again. But I know you're doing it at home as well. And we're all going to push through and do it together. And what a day to do it. It is the first day of spring and it's beautiful. Here's a look at CBS46 pinpoint radar. No rain at all on the radar. And we haven't had that very much at all lately. So definitely that's a great thing for North Georgia. We do need a break. The rain is northwest of our area over southern Illinois, Indiana. That's where we have severe weather. Those boxes are where we have active flooding. Also, the yellow box is a severe thunderstorm warning. We even have a tornado warning in parts of western Arkansas. So that severe weather risk is going to stay to our northwest. That orange area where we have the highest risk of severe weather, that's well far from North Georgia. So no severe weather for us. Even as rain and storms move in tomorrow, they will not be severe. Right now, it is warm. If you go outside, your cheeks will get rosy. Temperatures in the 80s, 80 degrees right now in Atlanta. And it's going to stay really mild the rest of tonight. 60s through the rest of the evening, partly cloudy skies, dropping down to 63 degrees for a low temperature. The average low is 45. So that's almost 20 degrees above what we normally see for our low temperature. We did get a break from the rain today, and it's not going to last much longer. That rain moves back in tomorrow, but the good news is it won't be here until late tomorrow. So during the early morning hours, even in the early afternoon, it will be dry. It's not until after about 4 or 5 p.m. that we'll start to see that chance of rain. Because the rain is arriving later, we're still going to reach those upper 70s before the rain moves in. So yes, not as warm as today, but because the rain is holding off, pretty close as we warm up to those upper 70s. Here's a look at tomorrow's timeline. If you are getting the kids outside, as you should, they need some fresh air. Dry in the morning, dry in the lunch hour. Even at 3 o'clock, it will be dry. That rain arrives in the late afternoon, and it will be fairly light with the the thunderstorms. Could see some heavier rain across northwestern Georgia where we could see half an inch of rain. That rain comes to an end early Saturday morning, then dry the rest of Saturday. Then on Sunday, we have more rain in the forecast. So we're doing it all over again. In fact, that rain continues through Monday. Then we have rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's that pattern of off and on rain that will continue. The good news is the roof is going to be finished today, so no more banging the rest of the week.